Hello, everybody. Welcome to Telli Talks, where we talk about life, growth, relationships, and all things in between. I have a very special guest who I actually had a chance to play poker with recently, actress and mommy, Parker McKenna.
Hi.
Cheers, girl. And
Cheers.
we got to talk about our poker experience, guys.
Oh, God.
It wasn't an experience.
Not me spilling already. Did I have some before I came or not?
What did you get?
It's a blackberry sidecar.
Ooh.
Fire. I'm a cognac girl. Cognac queen.
I don't know how you do darks. Like I would be drunk and probably doing things that I shouldn't be doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes
That's you don't need to be drunk and doing things you shouldn't be doing.
That's the vibe. Okay. So for the people that don't know your journey, tell us how you got to where you are today.
Lord, that is it's going to be a long drawn out answer. But basically my wife and kids, well, if you have never seen my wife and kids, you're probably living under a rock. Just kidding. Because I feel like I've met people, they don't know what it is. So no shade.
If you are in a Black household and did not watch My Wife and Kids, you are not African American. I'm sorry I said it.
Yes, revoking the Black card immediately. Yeah, so I mean, I basically got my start on My Wife and Kids, and that was my first audition ever.
Ever? Wow.
And I'll tell you the story about how I got it, because it's actually pretty funny. But my dad, he's my manager. He's been managing me since then. He basically was a part of the start of B2K. He's also basically the stepfather of Omarion. I call him Omari. I hate saying Omarion because his name's Omari to us. We're like family, you know? So he was auditioning for My Wife and Kids, and my dad told them, like, I have the perfect little girl. She looks just like Tisha. And so they had me come in, and I auditioned like 7 times. It was a long process. And
how old were you then?
I was 3 going on 4. So...
And you've never acted?
Never acted.
First audition?
Yeah, it was my first audition ever. So basically how I booked it, well, I kept bringing them candy to the auditions. It's like bribing them slowly. And they asked me what my favorite thing to do is. And I told them I like to dance. And they say, okay, we'll do a little something for us. So I start singing Back That Ass Up.
No way. Not the 3-year-old.
And I was twerking before twerking was even a thing, okay? At 3 to 4 years old.
What did your dad say? Because I feel like if I would have done that, my dad would have been like,
they weren't in the room. They weren't allowed to be in my mom and my dad weren't allowed to be in the room with us. So it was literally just me going in there and just doing my thing.
What?
Yeah. So crazy. I've been like, I thought I was 30 years old when I was 3. Now I feel like a child. I don't know why. I'm like in my little girl era, even though I'm 28. I'm old as hell.
Girl, 28. Stop. I feel like my child is closer to 28 than I am.
No.
That's old. That's when
you have a daughter too, don't you?
I have a daughter and a son, and my son is just turned 18.
Wow.
So I'm 37. So I had a child young, and girl, another day, another conversation. But as a 3-year-old going into acting and being in the industry so young, did you feel like you had to grow up so fast?
No, honestly, I've always been around older sisters. Like I have a bunch of sisters, god sisters. I have one real half sister. We share the same blood, half sister, but they're all older than me. So I've always been kind of like I said, I thought I was 30 years old when I was 3. Like I've always just been a little bit more mature. And then of course, growing up in the business, it didn't make me feel like I had to grow up, but I just felt grown. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I just felt grown. I felt more mature. You know, when My Wife and Kids stopped and I ended up, like my high school experience, I just felt like so out of place because I felt so much more advanced, if that makes sense. Like,
Absolutely.
I felt like I don't need to be here. Like, I'm too cool for this. Like, I've already made all this money and I know what I'm going to do when I get out of high school. And, I thought it was hot shit. But
and My Wife and Kids had how many seasons?
We had 5.
5 seasons. And when you were finished with your last season, how old were you?
I think I was 8. I think I was 8 or 9.
And after that, you did other things.
After
and
that,
it was still acting.
God, yes, I was still acting. It was really tough after My Wife and Kids because it's so sad. So we ended My Wife and Kids thinking that we were going to get another season. We were all signed on for another season. And then some other things happened behind the scenes and we just didn't end up coming back. So of course that was devastating.
Because I'm sure it was like your other family outside of your real family.
Exactly. I was literally just about to say, like, it was like a family unit there. So it was like devastating on so many levels. And it didn't feel like work to me. Like I just felt like it was just fun, you know? It was really just fun. And so after My Wife and Kids ended, I went through a really weird, awkward stage. Like I started growing up, I started maturing, my body started filling out a little bit more, you know, once you get to 12, then you're 13, 14, you know, I just looked different than girls my age. I've always just been a bigger girl, I guess, and had hips and body, whatever. Like my mom's a thick white bitch. Like she's bad, you know?
Right.
So I get that from her. And it just wasn't working in my favor at all. And I was constantly going.
You looked older than you were.
Yeah, than I was. And I did several things. I, shot a couple of pilots that didn't go through. I did a pilot for Nickelodeon. They didn't end up going through with it. So it's just been, I've had the strangest career. And then when I got to my teenage years, like closer to high school and stuff, I was kind of over it. Like I didn't really want to audition anymore. I was tired of like constantly getting super, super close. Like I would constantly be getting to the last second, auditioning for the producers, auditioning for network, like everybody, and
I'm
then
sure
not
it was
getting
frustrating for you at such a young age, being so successful and then transitioning to like, okay, what's the next thing to do?
Exactly. So I was kind of just like, I just want to be a regular person for a little bit. So I was, and then I, boys are around. Ran off after I graduated high school with my boyfriend and did that for a little bit. And then I eventually got back into acting probably when I was like 19 is when I started getting more serious with it. And I booked another pilot. I'm not going to even say what it is, but booked a pilot, shot the pilot. Network comes back, and of course it's just always these excuses is kind of how it feels, always just
feel
BS.
Do you feel like transitioning from, because I feel like a lot of child stars have this like kind of weird moment of transitioning into like acting outside of a child star actress.
It was very hard. I realized it was very hard for a while, even in my 20s, for people to see me as a 20-year-old woman.
Right.
Because my voice just started sounding like I still used to talk like and it's still an annoying voice, I feel like, but I've gotten more into my deeper tone, but my voice was still high pitched. I still looked the same as Katie. So it was really hard for people to just not see that. And then another thing that worked against me is like My Wife and Kids is still on TV. Like we can find it on TV right now, I'm sure. So it's confusing.
You get residuals for it?
Oh yes, I do.
Okay, good.
So it's still confusing for people. It's confusing because they think I'm still a little girl.
Right. So how is that like mentally transitioning to like, okay, I'm not the character that I played for so many seasons and I am a grown woman now with a kid. How do you guys see me as still a child?
Well, I feel like I kind of broke out of that myself by doing like things back in the day where being like putting myself in situations where I would be like overly sexualized or like, just doing these photo shoots where I was like, I'm not a little, like I didn't, in the moment, I didn't feel like I was proving, like I felt like I had to prove myself like, oh, I'm a woman now. But now looking back, I'm like, okay, that was probably me like trying to shit on people and let them know like, I'm not a little girl anymore. Right. Like accept me for who I am. Absolutely. Like that was a character. Like Absolutely. I'm Parker. Like I understand it's hard. Like when people come up to me, I'm their little sister, I'm their cousin in their head. You know what I'm saying? And I get that and I love that dearly, but I'm Parker first, So Absolutely. I had to figure out a way to show people that I'm Parker, Now motherhood is a whole new journey and struggle that being a mom is my favorite thing. There's nothing challenging for me in that department. Like being a mom and showing up for my child, that's good. But now it's like, who am I? Like, who am I now,
Absolutely. So do you feel like motherhood changed your life so much as far as not just being a mother, but being a working mother and acting and still having to take care of your child.
Yes. So I had my baby, and a month later, I started filming Games People Play. I don't know if you know that show. So
One more time.
Games People Play with Lauren London and Saronis Jackson.
I love Sharonis.
Yes.
Good people.
Yes. Love him down. He's the best. Yeah. So I had her, and literally a month later, I went right into filming, and I took her to Atlanta. We started filming in Atlanta. We were there for several months. I was a new mom. My dad came with me to Atlanta and took care of my baby. Shout out to my dad. He's literally
a real one.
That's
a writer.
Listen, love that man. So yeah, it was a lot, and it was crazy because no one knew I was pregnant. So
So you didn't show at all.
No, I didn't tell anybody.
1 month after, you were already like flat stomach, ready to film.
She came out of me, and like literally my stomach, like at the birthing center, there was no stomach. It was the strangest thing. Everybody was like, "What the hell is wrong with you? Like, you just had a baby in there a couple minutes ago. Like, why is it already?" I've just always had a smaller like midsection, I feel like. But what was I saying? Because I feel, this is what I wanted to tell you. So no one knew I was pregnant. This was during the pandemic. So I got pregnant like in March of 2020. And you already know that was the start of everything. Exactly. Yeah. So there was nothing to do but get pregnant, you know? I'm married too. So, you know.
Congratulations to the husband in the marriage.
So, yeah, you know, it felt like the right time. It felt perfect. It felt like divine timing because everything was shut down. I'm like, what better time than to go on this journey than now? So that was definitely a blessing in disguise because obviously it was like terrible every other way in the world. Like everything else was pretty shitty, but being pregnant was a beautiful experience. But, so Chunky was born December 27th. And we started, I think we literally went to, started going to March. Atlanta. No, we went in January. We left at the end of January, maybe the beginning of February.
So literally a month after
Literally a month after I had her, we went to Atlanta. And I refused to get on a plane. We drove straight there.
From LA to Atlanta?
LA to Atlanta.
How long was that drive?
That was probably like 28 hours, something crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. I'm a road trip girly, though. Yeah,
girl, that's a long-ass trip. That is a long trip. Like, I just did a road trip to Vegas, and I was like, ooh, that was long.
Did you drive for the Me too.
And I
don't like flying like that.
We split the drive, but even then, I was like, ooh, this is long.
Well, it was also the pandemic, though, too, and she's a newborn. Like, I wasn't going to leave my baby with my husband. Like, she needed to be with me. I was breastfeeding. Like, there was, like, no. And I'm just not going to walk through an airport. Like, I'm not doing that. And still, no one knew that I had a baby. Like, I'm all in my head about everything, you know? So
when you showed up and they asked about your body, what did you say?
I didn't show up. They called me in January and I said, well, hey, I just had a baby 2 weeks ago. And then in the group chat with the cast, I was like, we were just, going back and forth, getting excited. We're going to be seeing each other soon. I'm like, hey guys, by the way, I have something to tell you. And they're like, what? And I just sent them a picture of Chunky and they're like, what the hell? And they're just so excited.
Like we so cute. Yeah, we can't
wait to meet her. And they were just all in their auntie uncle modes immediately.
So
they loved her. Like, I think it was more anxiety on my end because I knew it was going to be, what is your body looking like? I knew that was going to be all they care about. Like, are you going to be able to fit into these clothes? Because I was the sexy one on the show, So are you going to be able to do the sex scenes and look good? Or are you looking flabby? Are you looking like you just had a baby? Like, I understand. I didn't take it personal, but it was crazy.
You're better than me, girl. I'd have been like, you will be hearing from my lawyer. Here's the number. Like, that would have been like, my mind is like so much on business that it's like this, and not just business, but good business, how you handle business, you know? And like, I feel like if you come in there handling business professionally, properly, in a positive manner, and your energy, to me, just, like, networks are always gonna go towards what makes them money, whether it makes you look good or not. Like, I feel like when we sign our contracts, your likeliness is out of your hands. Yeah. It's whatever they want it to be, especially like, in my case, reality TV. In your case, it's scripted, so it's different. But it's not what you want to put out. It's what they feel like looks good.
Right.
And that's where it's kind of like, in my head, I feel like if you give good, you'll get good. But it's like, if you give good and someone brings you bad, I'm like, all right, I got lawyers now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You'll
Like,
be hearing
we're
from my
leveled up here,
lawyer.
okay? So, no, it's like, it's so bad because I feel like when you get to a certain point in life, you're targeted for the wrong things, you know? And then it's like, here I am enjoying this blessing, and automatically their mind frame goes to something that's like, okay, our concern is this.
Right.
But my concern is my baby going to get fed?
Right.
Am I going to be able to breastfeed and still do this scene? You know, so it's kind of like, and to me, it's kind of like a, you're better than me, girl.
I think that the older that I've gotten, I had my baby when I was 25. So this was going on, I guess, 26. But even in these last few years, these last few projects, I've been like, I need to have a voice because people are going to fucking play all damn day. And I don't want to be played with anymore, especially now having a daughter. And you know, even just working with some powerful women and surrounding, you know, just being able to be around women that are like, use your voice. Absolutely. Like, don't do that. So I think over these last couple of years and these last few projects, I've definitely been like, I'm not. And
they respect you more as a woman, not a kid, you know, as a woman, like, hey, I have a voice and it's going to be heard.
Because since my dad is my manager, I'm always like, you're not calling my lawyer. You'll be hearing from my dad. Is me.
Right.
But now I'm like, okay, well, now my dad is with my baby, and now you're just going to have to deal with me. And the last resort is you're going to be dealing with my dad or my agent if we really need to take it there. But now I feel more comfortable, like, stepping in my power and saying, like, this is what I'm not doing. This is what I'm comfortable with. And y'all are not going to fucking play with me.
Absolutely. So, I love that for you. Love that for you. Okay, so with acting, baby, how do you have time for like family and baby? How is that like, you know, it's hard managing work and family life.
It is. And I'm in like a weird stage in my life. So we don't even need to get too deep into that. But I don't know anything else. Like when I'm not working, I'm with my kid. I'm such a mom. Like that's all I care about. Like it really is. And I moved away from LA 2 years ago.
Where'd you move?
I moved to Arizona.
No way.
Yeah, I did. I really like, I've just had a stressful personal life over these last few years. And it's not even like, it has nothing to do with motherhood. I mean, on a personal level, like I said, and I don't know if you can relate as a mom to two, like you kind of just lose your identity a little bit. Like I struggle with like, do I go full mom or do I still do, you know, the Parker McKenna? You know what I'm saying? But it's like in my heart, I'm Harley's mom. I call her Chunky, but I'm Harley's mom. You know, that's all I am. Like, I don't care about nothing else. Like, of course, I love acting. I want to work. I have my hand in several other things, but I'm a mom, you know. Absolutely. I'm a mom, and that's what comes first. So that's really all I focus on. That's all I care about. Like, if I'm not working, that's what I'm doing.
Absolutely. And I feel like too, naturally as women, we're nurturers. So when we have kids, when we have a baby, it's like automatically instilled in us to nurture. So it's like, that's our first instinct to make sure our child is good. So I completely get it. And it's hard to also being in a relationship and focusing on yourself because you're in a relationship. You have these kids, and I birthed 2 kids, but we have 8 kids. So it's just like, this is a lot on our plate when you're, you know, used to taking care of 1 kid, and now you're taking care of 7 kids, and then you have a kid, then you have 8 kids. Then it's like, oh my gosh, what do I do? How do I make time for myself? And how do you need that time though? Like as a parent, as a spouse, you need that time of giving back to yourself.
Yes.
And focusing on your identity and just like, you know, becoming not just a mother, not just an actress, but like, who am I outside of this?
Yes. And I'm just, shout out to my family, shout out to my mom. My mom is definitely like one of my biggest supporters. She always has been, and she loves her granddaughter. Oh my goodness. She's the best Gigi in the world. She refuses to be called grandma. I don't know if it's like these new age grandmas.
My mom is Mama V.
Yeah, I don't know why. Grandma is off limits.
They give themselves their own nicknames. It's insane.
Yeah. But I wouldn't be who I am, like who I am for real, like off camera, without my family. They keep me grounded, like my sisters, my dad, my real dad, I have two dads. So it's a complicated family.
Okay, wait, two dads.
Yes,
Tell me.
I have two dads. So I have my biological dad, of course. It's where I get Posey from. But then I have, the man that my mom was with after my dad. And that's who my manager is. And he's played a big, big part in my life. That's who we're best friends. Like, we're business partners. Everything that we do, anything that I do, he's my business partner. He's my manager. He's my guy. He has my daughter right now. Like, that's my man.
That's
like,
amazing.
I love him so much.
That's amazing.
So I'm fortunate to have two dads, and I just get the best of both worlds with them.
I love that.
I do.
Okay, so for everyone that comes on the show, we play a game of Would You Rather. And we're going to play the adult version, guys, the After Dark edition. So I'm going to play with you too.
Okay.
And we're going to do 6 cards each. So you're going to read what's on this card and what's on that card.
Okay.
Rules of the game, you can't remix the question. So once you read the question, that's what it is.
Okay.
And you can give an explanation as to why you answered the way that you answered.
Okay.
Okay. So you can go ahead and grab.
Okay. I get 6.
Yes. That's a tough one.
Oh, Lord. I saw a word I don't like.
Okay. Okay. I'm ready. You're good? You got your cards?
Yes.
Okay. You want to go first?
Yes.
So you read what's on this card or what's on that card.
Okay. Oh my God.
Vulgar, I'm sure.
Okay. Have your Facebook automatically post one conspiracy theory meme each day, or flatten a field of puppies with a steamroller.
Flatten a field of puppies. So I'm doing the conspiracy theory and explaining as to why I have to post an conspiracy theory every day. And that's my answer.
Yes. Like,
this is mandatory. This is like conspiracy theory of the day. Would you guys think about this?
Yes.
And go about it that way? Because I'm not PETA will come after us all. I have 2 dogs. I have a French bulldog and a Pomeranian that's so like 2 pounds named Wolf. And he has little man syndrome, but that's neither here nor there. So I'm not flattening the puppies.
Please don't. I accept that answer for sure.
Okay. I'm going to go with the lightest one. Would you rather have your whole family convert to Scientology or use a cell phone case shaped like a penis?
Oh, I would absolutely use a cell phone case shaped like a penis. I have no problem with that.
The Scientology thing is
wild.
A bit much.
Yeah, absolutely
a bit
not.
Much. I feel like a lot of people in Hollywood is like,
listen, I've been to the center several times. Absolutely not.
How is that?
As a little girl.
Right. How is that? Like, is it a whole...
Weird.
Yeah,
I never practiced or like got into any of it. I just happened to be there with like some of my mom's friends who were weird, period. Not into it. Insane. Christianity over here, my love. God, period. Jesus, love them
all
down.
Day, every day. Amen. Hallelujah. Okay, it's on you.
Oh, God. Okay. No, I don't like this one. That one's okay. Give every partner you have an STD, but never get the STD yourself, or fall in love immediately with every person you see naked.
I'm doing the STD because, why? I'm not getting it. And then what if the person I see naked, I'm not attracted to? And then I have to love you? No, I'm doing the STD because I'm not getting it. Sorry, selfish answer. Okay. I don't know even if this even goes together.
Let me look.
I guess this will go best together. Would you rather have sex with a dead person or bring a sex doll everywhere you go?
I'm definitely not having sex with a dead person. Like, what the fuck? No. No,
the other options were didn't match.
I'm fine with that. I'm into weird. Like, if I have to keep it weird, I guess so. Sex doll it is.
But it didn't say you had to have sex with the sex doll.
Right,
You're just taking it with you.
It's like my buddy. Like,
yeah.
oh, dress
you wouldn't
her
think
up.
people would be like, what in the hell is Parker doing with this doll?
This is a new style trend. Get with it. I would have to come up with some excuse. Okay.
It's the purse.
It's a purse, exactly. Cut off your nipples with a butter knife or die in 2035.
That's soon.
Exactly.
I'm cutting off my nipples and I'm going to the best surgeon in Beverly Hills.
Period.
Give me new ones. Tattoo them, whatever you got to do.
Period.
I don't even care about the sensation
New
at
trend,
that point.
no nipples.
At all. They have the new nipple bra, Kim Kardashian.
There you go.
Shout out to the nipple bra. Okay. Last but not least, would you rather pull all the teeth out of your mouth? I love my teeth. Or receive a notification every time any of your exes has sex?
Oh my God. I mean, I don't really care about them. I'm not pulling out my teeth. Like, I don't really, I
Agreed.
mean, I could deal with the notifications. Get
Yeah.
it in, my love. Yes. Love that for you.
I'd have been like, why? Again? Really?
Like, Jesus, you fucking whore.
Right. Exactly. Tell everyone what you have coming up, where they can find you, all that good stuff.
So you can find me on Instagram at Parker McKenna with 3 A's. And I have a sequel to The Assistant coming out sometime this year on Tubi. And Rock the Boat 2 is coming out on Tubi sometime in June, I think. So look out for that. And Loretta Devine is in it. And I'm so excited,
Hey,
you
Loretta.
guys. It was a blast working with her. What else do I have? Check out College Hill on BET Plus right now. That's out right now. And yeah, just go on IMDb. There's a few things on there you can check out that are on streaming services now. I had so much fun.
Oh my God, thanks for coming. Make sure you guys tune into all the things that Parker has going on. Check out her movies, The Assistant, and tune into her Instagram and see what she's doing on the gram, and check out her cute little baby girl. And that is it for Telli Talks.